I called 911 at 5:09 p.m. after I hung up the phone with my son, who said, I'm not okay. He sounded disoriented. He didn't specify where he was. He was having a head injury after he'd been assaulted. But he was heading in the direction of Rogers School, and I was driving up East Virginia Boulevard. So I didn't know what was going on. I thought, okay, maybe these kids are with him. Maybe they're trying to hurt all of us. Maybe they're trying to steal my car. You never know. So on the phone with 911, I said, I need a police officer to come to Hebner Street. I'm driving up East Virginia Boulevard. My son is not okay. Something happened to him after school. He's by Rogers School, which is a closed down school. That's not the school he goes to. It was just like an old school called Rogers. So I'm telling 911 as fast as I can, I need an officer on Hebner Street at Rogers School now. There is an emergency. I don't know if there's people around him that could hurt us and hurt him. I didn't know if weapons were involved. I need a police officer now. I said, my name is Adrielle Sigler, Sigler. I need a police officer now on Hebner Street. And the 911 dispatcher says, ma'am, I'm sorry, I don't have any officers available right now. They're all out taking care of other calls. I hung up the phone on 911, called my son back. I said, I can't find you. Where are you? I don't want to hang up the phone until you get to my car. So then he gets in my car. I call 911 again, and they didn't answer. I called them again because they didn't answer. Like, it rang like 6 or 7 times. And I tell them I'm on my way to the police department. But then I was like, wait, no, I need to take him to the emergency room. So I told them I'm on my way to the emergency room. They said, okay, we'll send an officer there when an officer is available. Meanwhile, after we get to the ER, my family was on the way. My other family member was driving around looking for the boys who had just jumped and attacked my son. And my family member found them. So while my family member is at the ER with my son, I leave and drive to the street my mom saw them at. And I call 911. I said, the kids who jumped my son are on this street at this house. And then I slow down my car. While I'm on the phone with 911, the boys sprint across the street because they saw me. They recognized my Jeep. These are kids who know my son. 2 of them are in his grade. 2 of them were in the high school. So they know who I am and they know what my car looks like. And I told the 911 dispatcher, okay, they're sprinting in the direction of Prather Street, because I was on Foot Avenue. And then the 911 dispatcher says, sorry, we don't have any officers available right now. One will meet you at the emergency room soon. So I'm like, at this point, I'll just drive up. The kids are running off with my son's shoes. They have his $1,300 chain. And I'll ask for them to give my son's stuff back. But no, they didn't give it back. They just ran away. They ran away. I drive back to the emergency room where a police officer was in the room with my family member and my son, taking a statement and filing the report. I got pictures of the boys when they were running, and I showed those pictures to the cops. And, you know, these kids have a criminal history. They are on probation. But New York State cannot arrest juveniles under the age of 18 and put them in jail. So this whole day has been just fucking terrifying. I put a GoFundMe together so I can move as soon as possible. My income is inconsistent, which makes things difficult. It's difficult to get approved for an apartment, especially when rent is so high and you have to make 3 times the amount of rent per month. The only way I have a shot at getting approved for an apartment is if I offer to pay the lease off for 6 to 12 months. That's the only way that I'm going to get approved, and I know it. So I put that GoFundMe together to cover the cost of rent for at least 6 months, to cover the lease, and to cover movers, travel expenses. I'm going to be applying to apartments out of state, and moving is expensive. I have to, shut all the utilities off, pay all the utilities, reopen new utility accounts in the state I plan on moving to. So on the phone with 911, I said I need a police officer to come to Hebner Street. I'm driving up East Virginia. Emergency. I don't know if there's people around him that could hurt us and hurt him. I didn't know if you get to my car. So then he gets in my car. I call 911 again, and they didn't answer. I called them again because they didn't answer. Like, it rang like 6 or 7 times. He's been laying in. This is the mud that has been covering his clothes. He's covered in blood. He's covered in mud. His clothes are ripped off of him. He's not wearing any shoes. A group of 9 or 10 boys jumped him, brutally assaulted him after school. They ripped the shoes off his feet, his brand new Nike Jordans. The boys told my son if he tells anyone what they did, they're going to come to our house tonight or the next time we're home, break in, and take our lives. I can't even, and I don't want to, show the condition my son is in right now. This is like a walking, living nightmare. He's getting CAT scans, RT scans, x-rays. This is terrifying. Not only did they premeditate this. We are live right now. I set a 15,000 point gift as a live goal. Those of you who can't send on GoFundMe, if you send us a gift now while we're at the hospital. My son's shirt is totally shredded up right now. He's covered in mud. It's just terrible, but we are saving money to move. We have to move as soon as possible, immediately.